Aaron Bennett here. In this video, I'm going to talk about Celsius and their loan. They are paying down. What that means. Is it a good thing or is it potentially a bad thing? I'm going to talk about 3AC, talking about their NFT collection, which I'm going to go over here and let you guys know whether I think they're going to have to liquidate their multi-million-dollar NFT collection. I'm going to talk about Celsius getting new directors and firing directors, basically reshuffling who is on their board. I'm then going to talk more about Voyager filing for Chapter 11 and what that means, including SBF's Alameda owing Voyager $377 million, even though they are bankrupt. You can see the camera is a little bit more zoomed out. Somebody commented in, I think, my last video, dude, your face looks too close. It's a little bit creepy. So I am zoomed out again. I hope you're okay with that. But before I dive into that, I want to note something interesting. Richard Hart was actually on Fox News talking about his own cryptocurrency Hex and also the crypto market. And then we have BitBoy Crypto saying, I unapologetically love Richard Hart. It's very interesting what's happened with the sentiment, where people's alliances lie. And I think a lot of it has to do with Richard's Pulse chain, hopefully coming out soon, which I will definitely be covering a lot when that comes out. So Celsius's maker loan right now is at $2,722 at the liquidation price. And we believe that they are paying off this loan. So you can see here the collateral locked is 21,962 Bitcoin, right now valued at $447 million. And the debt they have to pay on this loan is 41.2 million DAI. And if you're unfamiliar, DAI is a stablecoin pegged to $1. So Celsius is aggressively paying down this debt. Now, some people are saying, well, they're doing this so then they can fill the holes of their balance sheet, and then maybe they can do what Voyager did and do something like a Chapter 11. Nobody really knows exactly the intent of Celsius paying down this debt, but it is going to unlock basically $500 million worth of wrapped Bitcoin. So then with that wrapped Bitcoin, they can go ahead and do whatever they want to do with it, whether it's opening up withdrawals, which I'm hoping they do. But you can see that a few days ago, they paid back quite a bit of DAI, 34 million a few days ago. Looks like they withdrew 2,000 wrapped Bitcoin from the vault. Again, this is all speculation about why they're doing what they're doing with this wrapped Bitcoin, why they're paying off this loan. I'm going to continue to stay level-headed and positive until proven otherwise. We may see something like what Voyager did, going through a Chapter 11, which may not be a bad thing. A lot of companies have actually gone through Chapter 11s and actually still done very, very well. But right now, this is what's happening with their loan. So let's talk about 3AC. Their bankruptcy is really what spawned so much of what's going on with Voyager and I believe with Celsius, and it really started with Luna's collapse and just the contagion about how everybody was interconnected, loaning and borrowing and earning yield from everybody else. As more and more data begins to come out, it certainly seems like there was way too much leverage and also under-collateralized loans being offered to all these different companies. So this is talking about their NFT collection. Starry Night Capital, an NFT funded by 3 Arrows Capital, owns some of the world's most sought-after and expensive NFTs. So basically, what's going to happen with this NFT collection? They had $100 million to invest in high-end NFTs, including ones like CryptoPunks, Art Blocks NFTs. These are some of the NFTs that they have. This one right here was so ridiculously expensive. This was purchased for 1,800 ETH by 3AC. And when they purchased it, it was worth roughly $5.9 million worth of Ethereum. So as 3AC is working through their liquidations, basically a lot of these NFTs are probably going to be sold for very, very low amounts. So this NFT was sold for $5.9 million, and right now the highest offer is $41,000, which is kind of paralleling the rest of the NFT marketplace. And taking a look at this CryptoPunk, it looks like 3AC got it for 810 ETH, and right now there's not even any offers for it. So this is a true bear market, and I knew this was going to happen with NFTs. That's really why I wasn't getting too speculative in NFTs. I own like 3 or 4. I own some obviously unstoppable domains like .crypto and some ENS domains, the .eth domains. The .crypto domains I believe are going to have some value because there's actually use case. Same with the ENS.eth domains. So other than that, this is all probably going to go down even lower, especially if this bear market continues. So let's talk about Celsius. This story reads, Celsius shuffles directors as liquidity crisis continues. Celsius is still facing ongoing liquidity crises, and they've recruited 2 new directors and dismissed 3 others. Alan Jeffrey Carr and David Barse will join the board alongside Alex Mashinsky and other executives. Carr is especially relevant to Celsius as he is the CEO of Drivetrain, a firm that manages distressed investments. So here it reads, Celsius also terminated 3 directors, John Stephen Dubel, Lawrence Tosi, and Gilbert Nathan. Those individuals had connections to other firms, including Dubel and Associates, Westcap, which is important, I'll get to in just a moment, and Jackson Square Advisors. So they got rid of the person connected to Westcap. And Westcap, as you can see here, led Celsius's last valuation round and investment round, valuing Celsius at $3 billion. So this Alan Jeffrey Carr was added to the board. Carr is the CEO of Drivetrain, like I said earlier, a firm that leads restructuring and litigations and manages distressed investment portfolios. So from an outsider, that does not look like the best news. Having somebody being added to your board who does basically possibly Chapter 11 type things for a living. Now, nor am I a lawyer or am I an expert in restructuring and acquisitions and mergers and bankruptcies. You still have Daniel on the board, who has been on the AMA many times. He is the CTO, and Alex still sits on the board as well. So let's talk about Voyager right now. They obviously filed for Chapter 11 after big debt default from Three Arrows Capital. So there are differences between Chapter 11 and Chapter 7. Chapter 7, the assets of a business are liquidated to pay its creditors, with secured debts taking precedence over unsecured debts. In Chapter 11, which Voyager has announced, the company continues to operate and restructures under the supervision of a court-appointed trustee with the goal of emerging from bankruptcy as a viable business. And just a quick Google search on companies that filed for Chapter 11 that have not died, and some that have actually emerged even stronger: Sports Authority, Pacific Sunwear, Sports Chalet, they all filed for Chapter 11. So the important thing is to realize that Chapter 11 is not basically liquidating everything. Now, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Again, I'm not a lawyer, nor am I in the talks with any of these people. So all we can do is just speculate, cross our fingers, and freaking hope. It says here, customers with crypto in their accounts will receive in exchange a combination of the crypto in their accounts, proceeds from the 3AC recovery, which I'll get to in just a second, common shares in the newly reorganized company, and Voyager tokens. And that brings me right to this story. Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research owes a bankrupt Voyager $377 million. So I want to look at this picture right here. This is information from the Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry. That's just what it is on this website. So it shows how much money different companies or organizations owe Voyager. And you can see Three Arrows Capital right here. They owe $654 million. Alameda owes $376 million, and you can see the borrowing rates. So 1 to 11.5% for Alameda, 3 to 10% for 3AC. So Genesis right here owes 17, Galaxy owes 34 million, and 2 others, Wintermute and Tai Motion, which I have not heard of. So there's a lot going on. Basically, as Three Arrows Capital begins to go through their bankruptcy and begin to pay out people that they owed money to, like Voyager, that's going to affect how Voyager does in probably their Chapter 11, and how much you and I, if you had any money on Voyager, how much we'll get back. So there's so many moving parts right now. There's so much in the air, and all we can do right now is just be supportive to the community on Twitter, be hopeful, and honestly, for me, not spread FUD and not spread just like speculation that takes people down. There's a lot of fear right now with Celsius and Voyager. Now, I know people personally that had their